phone. Call this meeting to order, June 25th. And let's proceed with the adoption of the agenda.
We have a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Champagne and Councillor Kelly. But the draft agenda presented to council and dated the 25th day of June 2024 be adopted as declared.
All in favor? They won't carry. Thank you so much. Accepting the minutes of the previous meeting.
Moving over and a seconder, please. Councillor Trahan and Councillor Champagne. That the minutes of the regular council meeting of June 11th, 2024 be adopted as circulated.
Favor? They won't carry. Thank you so much. Any business arising from the minutes? Any declarations of conflict of interest or pecuniary interest thereof? There being none, the chair's comments, and obviously it's open to everyone to make any comments with respect to any activities that they've participated in. But simply to say that Deputy Mayor Riacker sent the regrets. And those were my comments. Any further comments? Oui, Councillor Champagne.
I just happened to be here yesterday with the staff and did the raising of the Francophone flag. It was a nice day. It's nice to see all the kids out and the parents go out, and it was really enjoyable to see that happen yesterday. So no, that was nice.
I found that our facilities, like while we planned inside, the outside turned out to be a good spot for having gatherings. Like we've had a few now in the parking lot just there, and it's been well set up. So yes, good. So indirectly good fun when we put together our facilities and when.
Nice to see the frog.
A talking frog. So we have a delegation this evening, a delegation that we've waited for a long time. Mr. Matt Henderson from Bell, and we'll wait till he's joined us online.
Well, today it's joining. We've been having issues with this computer, so we're coming tomorrow, I believe, to put a new one in. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We've had an issue with transition from Zoom to YouTube and back, and that the video card was not the correct one. So anyway, we'll have it fixed after this week.
Well, if we had good internet, it wouldn't be a problem.
We have pretty good, yeah. There we go.
there we go. Hello. Can you hear us?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, we don't hear you.
There we go. Okay. I had to double unmute myself. How are you?
Hello. Maybe I'll turn it over to our CEO to introduce you and to introduce the session.
So we've got Matt with us from Matt Henderson from Bell to discuss the broadband project that's happening in East Ferris. And with him today, and I'm going to let Jason in as well, Matt. He's here now. And you can introduce Jason.
Now, Matt, last time we met, you had mentioned that you had relatives in East Ferris. Is that still the case? Are they still residing here?
It's still the case. It's my stepbrother, and he has a new boat. And so I do have to get up there this summer, bring my boys up and get on the lake. Table. Is there any way you can make me less big behind you guys? Because that is distracting. No, I'm just joking. I look so. So is it, Jason, is it okay? Mayor Rushford, is it okay if I start?
I think we're still waiting for your colleague. Is that correct?
No,
Jason's on right now. He's just muted.
Okay. Yes.
And Matt, I've made you the host, so you can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, thank you so much. It has been a long time actually since I've used Zoom. So, okay, there we go. Okay, so just before we actually, why don't I just get all set up here and then I can, there's that.
that's better.
And there we go. Is that good? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, very well. Yes, and we like the title as well of the
Perfect, perfect.
presentation. Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you so much for having us. I know it's a little overdue. I believe last time I talked to you, it might have been actually from a parking lot on the way to a hockey tournament. So it's nice to be sitting at my desk, and thanks to my colleague Jason for joining me. Um, just to kind of level set and bring us back a little bit. Again, Matt Henderson. I've been at Bell for almost 20 years. The last 5 years have really been dedicated to rural broadband um, and and really kind of it's been great. It's been a great project. There's challenges. There's wins. It's it's national. It started in out east, and I'm in Ottawa, but it started in Nova Scotia all the way to Manitoba. So it's been a great project. In January, I did move to public affairs, but I love the subsidy work. I like dealing with councils yourselves, so I'm happy to be here, and it's great to have my colleague Jason with me. Jason is senior manager for Access Network, and Jason is deploying all of the fiber in 705 area code 705 North and 807. So he's out of Sudbury, and you'll and Jason Trottier, I'll connect you guys afterwards. I think you have an email, so he'll be heavily involved in the build going forward. So thank you again so much for having us. Let me get going here now. So why are we here? We all know why we're here. We're here for broadband. It is, I know your council, mayor and council, super eager, energetic, and committed to bringing this to the residents and businesses of East Ferris. It's a very important project for us. To Bell, to Jason, to myself, to my I believe we might be doing my stepbrother's house, but I will have to check on that. So it is an important project to us. Connecting rural Canadians, closing that digital divide is very important to our entire team, and working with governments, whether it's the provincial governments, the federal government. It's been a really good process, and we want to continue these partnerships. The East Ferris broadband project is part of a larger project outside of North Bay and into Bonfield a little bit. It's led by the ISED, and their mandate is to connect 98% of Canadians by 2026 and 100% access to 5010 broadband by 2030. So they have a very large mandate, and it's great to be a part of it. So we're again very excited to be here. Everything we're going to talk about today, and I'm not, Jason and I are both like, well, I'm not network anymore, but we're network guys. We're not here to sell you anything. We just want to really pass on the benefits of fiber. Everything we're going to talk about today is 100% fiber. There's no fixed wireless in this project. It's 100% fiber to the homes and businesses within East Ferris. And now this provides up to 3 gigabits symmetrical speeds. And what symmetrical speeds? And again, I'm not a gamer, but it is really important to gamers. It's very, very important if for high bandwidth users. It's great when you're connecting ton of devices. So that symmetrical speeds is pretty much, you can only get that through fiber. So it's really good that the upload and download speeds are both 3 gigabit per second or up to 3 gigabit per second. This is a future-proof investment into East Ferris. We won't be back once this fiber is in. Once that fiber is in, we can do any capacity changes, speed augments, all can be done from the Bell central offices. We don't have to go and lay more fiber. You're able to connect tons of devices. I still look back kind of 10 years ago at Bell when I might have had one smartphone at home, maybe two, and everybody was saying you're going to have 5, 10, 15, 20 devices in 20 years. Well, 10 years later, I've got 3 boys. Each one has a hand-me-down iPhone. They have a PlayStation. My wife's got a watch. Like it's just incredible the number of things that are connecting to your internet as well. I will just share one story from last night. I do have, again, I live in South Ottawa and I do have fiber to the home. Last night, we were able to take the TV, put it on the porch. We have a Fire Stick. We're able to watch the game seamlessly on the deck with the Bell 5 TV app, and it was excellent. So really, again, I know it's a long process and but at the end of the day, it's going to be just fantastic to have this fiber rolled out across East Ferris. Any questions there before I get into probably what you're most interested in some of the status updates?
No.
Okay. So just wanted to we put this map together just to show where we are bringing fiber to about 1,600 homes and East Ferris, homes and businesses across East Ferris. We have some great wins. We have some stuff coming up. So I just wanted to kind of walk you guys through some of the wins that you can't really see much of what's gone on yet. And I think that's part of the problem, I don't want to say the problem, part of the things that like Jason and I are dealing with, or when we're out talking with people, is there's a lot of work going on in the background that really isn't visible. So for everything, for the 1,600 homes that we're planning on connect in East Ferris, design is complete for over 80% of the homes, and what that means is about 120 kilometers of road. We've done the fiber sizing. We've designed the infrastructure placements. Poles have been analyzed. We're getting ready for Hydro Make Ready. Also, things that you can't see that are going on is the North Bay Central Office. It is ready. North Bay is going to serve the top portion, the dark blue portion. That central office is sized and ready to go. The capacity augments have been done. The majority of East Ferris will be served out of our calendar CO. It just received a capacity augment just last week. So again, I'm not going to get too technical, but we took a 10 gigabit pipe and we made it 20 gigabits, so it's ready to serve all of these residences and businesses across most of East Ferris. The large section in the middle, about 1,100, 1,200 homes, that hydro, that permitting has been done. We submitted it to hydro late last year, so we're just waiting on next steps there. And I think, Jason, what we'll take from here is we'll just kind of give you updates on kind of where we're at with that as we progress there. You will start seeing some visible work, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, Jason Brill and Jason Trottier. I'll try to say last names as well. Jason Brill, I think North Bay Hydro is starting some of their Hydro Make Ready this week, so you'll start seeing some activity in the Northeast. And when they're done their work, then we come in and we start connecting homes, and we have plans to connect those homes later this year. The remainder of East Ferris will be served in 2025, and you'll start seeing a lot more construction in those areas as we prepare to connect the homes. Another thing coming up is in again, you can't see it, and I know it's challenging, is in the calendar CO, we are placing in a piece of equipment. It's called an OLT. We've escalated that, and that is going to be installed in the next few months. So that will be completed, and once that piece of equipment and with the capacity augment, we're ready to do the last mile work, and Jason's team can go to work. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? It's probably a lot to throw at you, but that's where we're at in the stage of the project for East Ferris.
I want to understand in gray, where it says 3811, 3812, that is the calendar section I'm referred to.
Sorry, say that again, Mayor.
The gray section where there's 323 homes, is that what will be done in 2025?
Yes, we're aiming for 2025.
And so everything that's in blue and dark blue, gets done. It's aimed for 2024.
Just this top section up here will be 2024 for sure. Jason's team is prioritizing that. The remainder here will be in service in 2025. Now it won't all be December 2025. We'll aim to get portions of that completed throughout the year. And just in case anybody's wondering, these numbers on here, they're fiber serving areas. It's just it's what Jason's team kind of delineates the different sections of the build.
So 1,600 homes in East Ferris, 1,600 East Ferris homes and businesses. are being covered by this particular program.
Yes.
Will you comment a little later on the green sections? What is occurring there?
So this area is, and again, part of the one of the challenges we face is this area was rescoped. It was I believe a portion of it is served with fiber from another provider and also some fixed wireless. There was an award, and I'm not sure what company it was, but there was another provincial award given there.
So when Bell, just to go over the history, when Bell initially put forward a proposal for East Ferris, it had included most of the territory. But when the other provider went forward with plans that were supported, then the government said, we're going to exclude that section because they're being covered through this other provider.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So it's not Bell. It is the government that is funding these initiatives, and they gave the direction that said, listen, coverage is being provided here. And so we want Bell to focus in these areas. Would that be a fair statement?
Yep, that's correct. And again, it's a partnership. So I believe with our not just East Ferris, but our whole North Bay, Bonfield, Chisholm project, I believe Bell's funding about 2/3 of it, and the federal and provincial government are funding 1/3 of it. So it is it's truly a partnership. Yeah, but thank you, Mayor. That's very well put how you positioned it.
So to get this right, the green section is that's it. After that, everything else is yours. So basically, the call is Living Road. Anything above that belongs to Bell from now on.
Yes. Well, it would be Bell Fiber. Yes.
Okay.
And I hope I don't put words in my mouth. And it's our focus on the next 18 months, 2 years is to fulfill our contractual obligations with the subsidy builds. So that's where our focus will. We do a couple times a year do strategic planning. So again, the next couple of years, we're going to finish our subsidy stuff. Not saying we'll never come back and kind of do some more of the homes, but that would be a few years out for sure.
It's about 650 properties outside of the 1,600 that would fit in that green then.
Correct.
Because we're about 2,260
Yeah.
households.
Okay. That's what I saw as well. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, Matt?
Yeah.
What figure do you have? About 2,260?
That's exactly that. 2260, I think, is pretty much exactly what I saw on the World Wide Web or one of your reports I was reading through. So
there's about 660 then homes or properties or businesses that are in the green space.
Yeah, and we do work really well with ISED and the province and if we sometimes if we are running fiber by some of these places, we try to pick up the home. At the end of the day, we're a business too. We want to connect more people from East Ferris, more Canadians. So we do, and if there are any holes or anything, we are working with ISED to try to fill any gaps into.
Let's get it right. I'm afraid all the green areas being done or has been done.
So what it is, Council Champagne, is the green areas already got the service that ICE said they should have, basically. So what Bell's doing is the sections around the green space.
Now it's St. Park Road and that's under that side, hasn't been done.
It will not be done by Bell. If that green space, Bell's not doing any work here.
But work hasn't been done. That doesn't mean it's been done. That means it's not required.
Yeah, and the other provider has done work.
Yes. So so that's what we're saying, that we're going to have to examine to see if the level of service is sufficient in these areas.
Yep.
Like one of the projects, if I may, Matt, like Net Spectrum came in and they did an area of Willette and Quakeway and all of that. That's been looked at by the government and said, okay, that service that was brought in, residents got the service we said that they were going to have. So that was scoped out of Bell's work. And now there could have been other projects there.
But have you got internet in your place? So.
Yeah, but we don't have fiber. That's the difference.
So that's what I'm getting at. There's a lot of small roads that don't.
There and just so everybody's on the same page, I don't know, I believe it's the CRTC. The mandate is 50-10. I can't remember if it's ISED or CRTC. the broadband scheme, just minimum 50-10, and then every area that doesn't have that, it was eligible. The US just went to they just upped it to 120, I believe. So maybe that will come at some point, but that's way out of my area.
Okay, so it's kind of disheartening because a lot of these areas aren't done yet. But when you guys are done, the complete area will be done from one end to the other, like 100% by 2020.
There are areas, if you look in the, I would say the dark blue, the light blue and the gray sections is what Bell's doing by 2025. The green section and then the lake, it's already available through another provider.
But it's not all.
Like I'll give you an example of Councillor
It's not all
Kelly is
fiber.
on
It's not
Marina
all fiber.
Road and it will not be all fiber, that's correct.
Right.
There's a possibility that Councillor Kelly can go to another service provider that's providing 50-10. He could be with somebody that's not providing 50-10, but the availability is there for 50-10. To anybody that's in that green space right now.
And that
I
has
believe
been
there's even
discussions
fiber.
with-
I believe there's sorry, Mayor. I believe there's fiber even run on
go
these
ahead.
roads. I know. Yeah, I
Some
think
of
on
them
this
are
road
bad.
there is another company. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like the work that Net Spectrum did was, there's some fiber work that's been done. I know Net Spectrum just ran from the top of the hill on Village to the library area. It's all been fiber now on that section of Village. So like that's a section that Bell's not doing, right?
Yep.
But those residents will be able to get 50-10. And it doesn't mean it's all fiber. It could be, I don't know, wireless and satellite and that, but there's availability for 50-10 is what we're being told.
So the government has confirmed to us that basically what they've said is that in this green section, we are delivering what our promise is. And so they basically somewhat said, you want these fares. That was part of that discussion last time.
Yeah.
Where we were saying we're not happy. Well, they were saying they've looked at it now a number of times and they're saying, we feel that we have delivered on our promise in the green section. So, yeah.
So having said that, I'm gonna go back, the gray section by 2025, everybody will have basically fiber. Anything in the green, there's no guarantee for a timeline when it'll be done.
It's already available. It's done, but it's not fiber.
It's not fine.
Everything goes by speeds of 50-10, whether it's fiber, wireless, satellite, whatever, as long as it's available, 50-10. So that green space in the lake, as far as we're being told right now, it's available for 50-10.
Okay. Anyway,
Good.
just if there's any other questions, just please, you can funnel them through Jason and I can work with Jason, or Trottier and I can work together, or Jason Brill and Jason Trottier can work together, and we can certainly further discuss it as required.
Well, just speaking for
Yep.
people on Lake Nosbin saying, we've got a lot of private laneways. And so right now the service is intermittent depending on where you are. Personally, I've had high speed now for the last 5 or 6 years. It works great. But people across the channel from me, it's not that reliable. So, and I'm on Marina Road. And across from me is Perrin Crescent and
Blanche Road.
so that, yeah, and Blanche Road. So, and you had to get a booster, if I'm not mistaken, Steve, is that correct? For Bell?
No, I didn't get a booster. What I did is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have the lingo. It just have that square box.
Which a lot of people have.
So not the turbo one, but the outside square box.
The
like
fixed
everybody
wireless,
has it.
the fixed wireless, the
Yeah.
pizza box, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a booster. It's,
So I guess,
yeah.
but that's exactly what it does though.
Yeah.
It boosts the signal, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Do you know, Matt, where the construction crews are going to start, whether they're starting in the kind of the north part of the municipality, or are they going to start at that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Jason, I don't know if
3811 area?
yeah, Jason, I don't know. Again, I know we're gonna get in here this year for sure. Jason, I don't know if it's too soon to talk about where else you would start in the gray areas, or it's dependent on hydro.
Yeah, too soon for the gray areas. We prioritize with hydro. So typically, just looking at this map, we'd go from 2611 to 2811. to 2841. I don't have the whole picture in front of me, but typically we'll go from our central office out and we'll direct hydro that way.
Okay.
But for 3811, so the blue one in the north, that's with North Bay Hydro, so we will be starting with that one.
So the calendar CO, well, obviously you guys know our calendars, and so we would come up through 2611, 2811, and then 2841 next year.
So that's kind of like where you guys are heading first?
Yeah, from north to south.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see a year. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I apologize. I had not seen the years and now I know.
Service
Yeah,
dates?
the service dates.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Good.
So through the build, and Jason Trottier and team will aspire to make sure the residents know when we're coming. We will be placing door knockers on their door. It's a little flyer you put on saying we're coming. We work with the residents because a lot of these homes, all this work is aerial, and that's predominantly why you haven't really heard much from Bell, is because we don't really need any permitting from the municipality. We work with a hydro company, come in, and then we drop the wire to the home. So we'll work with the homeowner to see where they want the drop wire to go. And we have construction primes in the field. We have dedicated field inspectors. Jason Burrell will identify to who the dedicated project manager will be. So if there are any questions, concerns, we can work with them. But really, the residents will know we're coming. There will be signs on the road. There will be our vendor partners. I think it's Aecon, right, Jason Burrell? Aecon will be, so if you see Aecon trucks, that's going to be Bell deploying the Bell fiber. So anyway, I think we're getting pretty well versed in this in rural Ontario now. Even here in Ottawa, I see boxes of these flyers so that when they're ready to go, and they can start hanging them on doors.
Good to see.
For sure.
And lastly, just to wrap up again, I've been fortunate. I've had fiber to the home for 5-10 years now. It's incredible. I really haven't really noticed the benefit of it till obviously COVID, and then my kids who started gaming a little bit. I'm really passionate about this project. I know what I hope, is anybody from Toronto on here about, like, I understand why people want to move to East Ferris. They want to move on the lake. They want to be doing everything they can. So it is a great project. It's there's challenges. There's wins. So really excited to bring this to rural Ontario. And it again, Jason, myself, quite passionate about it, and really excited to see the benefits of it. And really, I don't know, it's just, you see, I actually, are you guys seeing more people move from the cities to East Ferris? Like, is it booming?
Yes.
Like, it
Yeah.
totally makes sense. So once this is in, it's just going to be a bigger attraction to bring more people.
Mhm.
And Matt, just here's a easy question for you, but when the fiber does come in, and where I was going with regards of where you guys are starting first. So like, we have a school on both ends of our municipality. So of course our school board's going to be able to, I'm not sure what they have now as a provider, but the options there, they can hook up to the Bell fiber, and as well as we have some infrastructure buildings here on the north side also. So this
perfect question. Thank you so much. And this is exactly what will get Jason, myself, and like, once we need to know those addresses and make sure that's within our, obviously it's going to be within our build plan, but we got to make sure that it's kind of prioritized and the team knows. So Jason Trottier, if you don't mind kind of taking that action for us, and if you can send it to me or Jason Burrell, then we can just make sure that we can, well, we'll confirm, like, yes, this is part of the build, and then we know, like, it's a priority. And then if there's a new municipal building or something within the area, or any new developments, even, that's great stuff to know as well.
Yeah, we have like an LTR here that's occupies about, I want to say, and I'm just guessing, around 300 people. So senior residents, and so we always hear that feedback. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, so please you can filter that through me or through Jason Burrell, but that's great stuff to know.
I know the school in Corbeil on this end of town will be within the service area, so will the manor. The school on the Astorville side, whether it's in the plan or not, they have fiber. They brought it to the school when they built.
With Bell.
So they've got it with Bell, yeah. And then what the inspection did from the hill to the library kind of brings us right there to the library and school. So we'll have access there as well. So those are some of the major buildings.
So the arena will fall under that spectrum or Bell?
It would fall under that spectrum.
Oh, we're missing out on the arena? Oh,
Yeah.
Unless it's in your area and we're double building, which is fine too.
yeah. That's good.
It'll be close. It'll be really close there, like.
Well, it's close, Matt. We'll see.
Yes, yeah. Well, Jason, maybe we can see. No, anyways, take it away. Who knows where my kids will end up playing one day, so.
Who will be there faster?
Thank you so much for having us. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? And again, don't hesitate to reach out.
If there's questions, Matt, I'll get them to you.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
But if you're done, if you can make me the host before you leave.
Okay, wish me luck here.
Okay, so on the top screen, Municipality of East Ferris, Jason Truxey, there's 3 dots. If you click on them, it should say there should be an option to make me host.
Oh, there we. Oh, sorry, you're over here. Yeah. Oh, yep. Sorry. Oh, geez.
Oh.
Here we go. Three. Sorry about this.
No, that's okay.
So sorry. Where are the 3 dots?
In the right-hand corner of our screen. There should be 3 dots.
I just see more record setting.
If you highlight our screen, you should like if you put the cursor on it, there should be 3 dots that pop up. Click on the 3 dots.
Yeah.
And then there's an option to make me host.
Yeah, it doesn't have that.
Oh, eh?
No. It just. How about that? I just made multiple participants can share simultaneously. Maybe that. Screen.
I'm thinking if you sign up for that, it might automatically make me the host.
If it doesn't, I really apologize for hanging up your meeting. Thanks so much for having us.
Jump in your car and drive over with your computer.
Hopefully I'll get up there this way this summer. If I do, I will pop in and see you, Jason.
Sounds good.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
everyone.
much.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, it's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any further comments before we move on?
I was just hoping they would have started in our area this year. Or even started in the fall of 2024 in our municipality. That's the only thing.
There was one that was the north end where it had the dark blue.
Yeah.
Starts in the 4th quarter of this year is what it said as to be serviced.
Mhm.
That's Centennial Crescent.
That area, yeah.
That's coming in from North Bay though.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, it's going to be very good news for the residents on 17. Highway 17 has been very problematic for our residents, so that's a very good news story. And it is disappointing, but originally all of Lake Nesponcy was part of this project. But then another service provider was supported in their plans. So they had to extract the residences around Lake Nesponcy. But typically we should, over time, that's what we said, after this, we'll have to make sure that we are equals, that there is no difference throughout a municipality in the servicing that's provided. So that will be up to us. And when we had our last meeting with Blue Sky Net, we had said that we would do testing at the end of this project, to compare speeds throughout the municipality. So that would be, I guess, the next phase for us to do once the project work's all done.
Yeah, I was just more concerned of making sure like Lake or Noswinson Park Road and all those places can get access. Like I know what's gonna happen. We're gonna get 100% north of basically Living Road. It's gonna be 100% done. South of that may not all get done.
it has been done. This is, so they've installed a tower in Chisholm, basically. When you go to Golf Course Road and you see there's a new tower there that's been installed, it's brand new. And that's the tower that's servicing,
But they're not all getting it. That's what I'm getting.
so they have.
Lots, yeah.
Right, exactly, that's what we've said, we've gone before, we've been to our MPP, we have had these discussions. Basically the government's, their evaluation of our territory is that we are getting.
Yeah.
We are saying no, there's still sections they're not, but at this point, last time we went before that whole discussion was what that was about. And we basically said, okay. At this point, we've given up we're gonna move forward and examine where we're at once it's all done.
Another hand too, I just thought maybe they'd have more work, like more scope of their work done by the end of 2024 in the, we'll say the north, which is Centennial. Area, because I know there's homes over in Centennial that's zero internet.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for them.
Yes.
So it's, yes, at least they're gonna get something now, and by just kind of really pushing the hoping that there would have been more work done instead of 2025, right? Or, you know what I mean, from that North Bay area, but that's all.
Like, getting to the main roads, we can get fiber, but how about all the off roads, Maple Lane, to the Isles, all that? That's all I would do.
I would imagine because it was covered.
That's full, that's, the non-maintained roads, how's that gonna?
So I think that's, yeah, so exactly through hydro, and then I think, don't get me wrong, and we should have asked them, but,
What's the questions for, basically?
yeah, so like if you're with the door knockers, I spoke with one guy from Bell. If you're already a Bell customer already, you're getting a door knocker so that you can call in to say, yes, I want the fiber. If I say for somebody like myself that has, we'll call it the pizza box. And then if somebody needs a hookup to it, then they have to, then they'll get a door knocker too, but they'll get hooked up later on. I think that's what they were saying, but down to private roads, they will, most of them probably have the pizza boxes, Bell, so hopefully they'll get the fiber.
Yes, because people can have others, I know, there can be other service providers, Starlinks, have that or way, so, exactly. Okay.
After this evening, if you have any other questions, let me know and I can get them to Matt.
That's what I like, I like to get, we've got a conduit, we can filter
Yes.
questions back, find answers that people ask, because it's a concern for a lot of people.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Okay, we move on to committee reports. There was no public works instructor.
No, but talk about a couple things. Culvert has been, we got it in our, we let the public know the culvert been completed on Lake Nosmussing Road. Grue Road's getting the gravel program as we speak for this week. Also, calcium program has also been completed, I believe. Also, staff is in fixing a lot of the problems we had from the weekend from all the rain we got. So a lot of potholes and drains and and the winter salmon started today, so everything's pretty well. The boys are really busy right now, so they've got a lot on the go and they're keeping up, which is good.
Impressive.
So people have to be a little patient, some of the washouts that have to be repaired, but they're getting there.
Comments or, wait, Councilor Dana?
I just want to say big hand of applause to the workers for the public works. I would imagine all of us had some phone calls when they were doing the culvert, and we had the traffic lights set up. We had no complaints, but anything but good comments. So really bravo to the public works and as well as the contractors. They kept that going really well, and there was no accidents. So it was good. So you know what, it's nice to see things come together and a good plan. And Antoine had a good plan, and Rick and the committee had a good plan. So Yeah, it's good to see and good to hear that, you know what I mean? Because we always get a lot of negative punches, right? So it's nice to get some good positive feedback. So anyway.
It was the first,
Throw that out there.
it was the first street light in Nashville.
Also, Bush, without,
Yeah, the
having a Bush crossing now. And maybe the sidewalk safer coming out of the driveways. And that road's much as nice to see. We got, I mean, we're a month ahead.
Yeah.
With all the rain and more weather we've had, the road was the next entrance. Nice to see.
A lot of comments on the first drive. We're really happy about that.
Yep,
Up within the next week or so, and
looking forward to it. Sure, did a nice job.
beautiful town.
All right, so an incredible amount of work, for sure. Emergency management. Fire and emergency services. Planning advisory, no, but you had a committee of adjustment.
Adjustment, yes, I congratulated on behalf of council and senior staff, I congratulated the Guppy and Kennedy families for reaching a compromise due to the senior staff meeting with them, and it's a win-win for everybody, and both parties are happy. That's the only thing that came up. I know we're gonna get busier, but that was just contentious for us 6 months. Nice to see it finally put away, and little construction will go on, and it's not the first one, it won't be the last one on Lawson because of the surveying, and in my lifetime, the shoreline has changed significantly. We've had a couple of major storms. We had tail end of Hazel come through. You're probably too young to remember that, Jason, but
I don't even remember it.
But seriously, there was a lake nearby that emptied.
It was in the fifties, right? It was in the fifties.
I don't remember. That's a personal question, Mayor. At any rate, but the topography of the lake has changed, and the lake levels after the dam went in on Bondfield. I mean, look what happened over the weekend. We picked up 4 or 5 inches of water over 3 or 4 days. So, and that can change the topography of so long story short, there'll be more coming to council and us committee as people do develop. I know we've got one coming where half of someone's driveway that was considered their property is actually shoreline alone, so that'll be coming up. But anyway, I just want to congratulate senior staff. They did a lot of work. It's
Stuff that in.
really well done. Yeah.
Agree. Recreation, Parks and Culture, nothing to report. Striking Committee, nothing to report. Library Board, there was none for this session. OPP Detachment Board, there were none for this session. So we come to the ABCs. Any comments with respect to Castle Home, DSAB, Health Unit, or North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority? Councilor Kelly and Councilor Savannah, you up?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring it up, I'm gonna bring it up because it's, there's still some work to be done on it. I've been in conversations all this week with the interim Mattawa Conservation CEO. As well as a conversation with our own CEO. So in our municipality, we're gonna, I believe we have max 22, but I think around 20 pieces of property subjected to the mandatory septic evaluation. So basically, some of our residents have received letters already from the Mattawa Conservation that they're going to be subjected to an on-site inspection of their septic and bed. So more of a visual one, so they're not really actually going in depth of your septic or anything, but. And it's properties that are attached to or close to, I see a creek, and the water goes into, say, Lake Nipissing or in Trail Lake. So if they receive those letters and that's what's going on, and they'll contact the residents with regards of date and time when they're going to do the inspection, so that if the residents want to be there, that they can be there. The only issue I have is at the time that when this was brought up at a board meeting, there was no costing attached to it. So then I found out that 5 years ago, because it goes on a 5-year term when they do this mandatory inspections, that the first time it was $150 per cost to the resident. Now it's $300. So I have some residents that have inherited a second piece of property because they're either a family member or whatever the case may be. So now and they're subjected to say $600 or $900. They have 2 or 3 properties. So in saying that, I was a little, and when we had our meeting, there was no costing brought up at that time to our residents. So I was a little perplexed with regard to that. Been speaking with the interim CEO as well as our CEO, and I have some ideas. So I'm hopefully that this will be the last time that this is going to occur and put more pressure on our residents for monies that are that have to pay out for this mandatory testing. So just want to get that out in the air. So I would assume that we're going to get some more phone calls, or I'm going to get some more phone calls. So it's probably going to come up on a board level meeting also. So yeah.
Are these some of them that weren't done on the last phase, or they're just oversight, or are this all new?
No, these are the ones. Well, you could be right, but I know one piece of property I'm talking about. This is the second time it's been done. So they were hit the very first time 5 years ago, and they're getting hit again this year. So
Well, it shouldn't be. Okay.
They got a letter. So
So all the concerned residents have received a letter by now. Looks like what you're saying.
I don't know yet, Mayor, good question. I'm not 100% sure, because we weren't previous to when those letters were going to be sent out. Because that was like 2 meetings or one meeting ago. So we've had lots of meetings lately, so I just don't know.
Having said that, it's a good idea to get the program done though.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's, you know what, Rick, Councillor Lamprecht, it's a good thing. It's to make sure that everybody's in compliance and make sure that if there isn't a problem or an issue, that there's some leaching going on and it's going into the creeks or something, that, somebody's aware and somebody's gonna, get it looked after. Absolutely. It's an overall good thing though.
That's why I was kind of wondering, because
It's just the cost thing.
they did the program before $150 it happened.
Yeah.
But if this was oversight, yes, because I can't see back again every 5 years, otherwise they would do the whole program over again. And that's just a moneymaker. That's all that is, if that's the case.
Yeah, so, and that's right. And that's what I'm kind of alluding to, and I'm not too happy about it. And I made that aware and sticking up for our residents, right? So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Pretty sure they've heard what I've said, and then we're probably gonna fix it, so.
So good discussion. Anything to add?
Glad Mayor Rochford, that back in May, I did receive an email from prior CEO and former CEO of Conservation Chitra. Just giving me a heads up, we're going out to residents. They let us know, because what happens, we get phone calls from residents as well, but what happens is anybody who has an inspection, any resident, they don't pay, then it gets added to taxes. So that's why we're aware of it. What I will do is I will forward the email to council members so you're aware of the letter that goes to residents. But they do state here that there's mandatory maintenance inspection of septic systems, 143 houses or properties in Callander, 121 in Chisholm, there's 72 in East Ferris, and then there's only 2 in North Bay and 3 in Plus. So that's like the breakdown. So I will send that to you, but that's what ends up happening. The Conservation Authority is third party in taxes because of their gap. I also have residents estimated Conservation Authority, the fee and yes, what happens. Conservation Authority, once they send in taxes, they have an administration fee. Our bylaw also states that we have an administration fee for third party divisions. So if that admin fee is $50, you're getting $50 times 2.
That's an extra $100, $150, ours might be 100 now, but that gets added to that cost. So whether you want to dispute it or not, you're gonna end up paying for more, right? So.
It's just people never budgeted for that, right? So.
Have they set that deadline when they're getting this done or when they're starting?
Good question.
They haven't started, but it sounds like it's very soon. Like the inspections?
Yeah,
But Council Champagne, they're in every fund. It's not like you do it once and it's done.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
Cycle.
So we,
The same property owner is gonna pay every 5 years.
so we may have like 70 some houses, but I think they're doing like 20 or 22. Not doing 122 is, or is it wrong?
that's why it doesn't make sense to me, because you know, we've got 2,200 properties, landowners in East Ferris.
Yeah, but it's only the ones that are.
Protection area.
Yeah. Anything that flows into either Nipissing or Trout
Picture area or picture.
Yeah, so it's.
For sure.
Lake.
If I may, council, I'll just say like, as a heads up on this, so on that same day, letters are being mailed to the property owners regarding the mandatory maintenance inspections of septic systems related to the Calendar Bay municipal drinking water source. So she gave me a copy of the letter that went to residents, and that's what they're saying, there's 72 in East Ferris. I believe it's this all 70, like every 5, I don't think it's staggered, like per phase. I think it's 72 all this year, 5 years from now, they do 72 again.
Okay, I didn't know nothing about this. So.
This is. It's an older, I guess, fee, because I can recall years ago it wasn't 300 like.
It was 150, I remember when it went through.
Well, I can remember it being 240 or 250 because that was the fee we added, or it was 200 plus the $40 or $50 fee at that time, but I'd have to see what it is now. There's nothing in the letter speaks to what the cost is.
Right, good discussion. If ever in the weeks to come, you discover anything different from what was reported tonight, well, we're walking away thinking 72 houses are going to have their 5 years, or potentially they do staggering of every 5 years. So let's say they do maybe, I'm not sure, whatever it is, every 5 years they get, there'll be whether whether it's that same year, all of them, or whether it's some this year, some next year, they're on a 5-year cycle.
Yeah.
And they will now have their fees doubled, is what we're saying, basically.
So in another 5 years, we're looking at what, say 2020, 30. What's the cost?
Right.
Exactly.
And if I can add one other point, Mayor Rochford says the Ontario Building Code requires mandatory maintenance inspections to be conducted every 5 years on sewage systems which fall within specific areas identified in the Source Protection Plan as governed by the Ontario Clean Water Act. So it's every 5 years, the same properties get inspected.
I'm an issue for Mr. Trahan is, let's say they did an inspection 5 years ago and they found a system bad, so they replaced the system. So they got a brand new system, they pay the conservation for a new permit. Now, 5 years later, they go back and inspect and say, we want another $300 for an inspection of a bed which just put in there 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be paying again.
Yeah, that's a question probably for the Conservation Authority.
Again, I brought that, I had that conversation with the interim CEO and I would imagine it's going to get brought up. I spoke to some other board members and so I kind of got the ball rolling. So it's,
Yes, it's not fair for a resident.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we'll expect to hear more about it in the weeks to come, then, okay? He's already posing the question, so. Okay, so good discussion. Someone else you had your hand up, Councillor Kelly.
Oh, I just had a meeting, at a DSAT meeting, that's why I couldn't be available for the Franco flag being raised. I had a DSAT meeting, went on all yesterday afternoon, and basically it's the same old, but and some of the problems are, and we realize it, and both the representative from West Nipissing and myself both said the same thing, and as well as over the valley from South Algonquin, that these are the problems they have are city center, but they're everywhere problems because we're all paying into the same pot. So it was just recognition of that, and everyone's trying their best to find the secret. They did come out. Was a motion coming out to make homes more affordable and so forth. There's no details yet. Just letting you know it's on it's on the back burner and it's coming forward in the next 5 or 6 months, so. Because affordability it's a problem for everyone, obviously, so. Just letting you know that everyone's working on it. It's like a special meeting will be coming up in the summer. If usually we have every break this summer. We're meeting in July, but I'll keep council apprised of what's going on. Thank you.
Health Unit, I got a meeting tomorrow and we're gonna speak in correspondence about the pouches for the nicotine pouch, so I'll speak about it then.
Okay. Okay, there being no further comments, we'll move forward with departmental report. And I think Fire Chief Amyot, are you going to make comments on this? Yes? Okay. Welcome. Wait.
Good evening, Council. So I'm here tonight to present my recommendation for the renovation to the Astorville Fire Hall. But during the budgets this year, we discussed what the requirements are going to be for the hall, and we had an approved budget amount for it. So I sent out, I didn't send out, but I called around and word of mouth of various different contractors around, trying to get some quotes come back. I was only able to get 3 out of the very many phone calls that I had made. Seems to be the norm nowadays. Of the 3 that came back, they all quoted on pretty much the same thing. The recommendation that I'm making, they came in relatively close in price to the rest of them, but they did offer a few more things. So, for example, including a set of stairs to go up to the second level above the bunker room and the railing around it, and included was also a kind of like an air purification system, HRV system that's included in the bunker to make sure that the air circulated in there is fresh, because it is a sealed room. So those are going to be kind of extras with the other companies, whereas this company kind of included everything in together. So.
Right. So there's a recommendation here this evening.
Yeah, so my recommendation would be to really contract to Hodgson Electric to complete the work for the bathroom renovation as well as the bunker room.
Questions, comments? On our budget was.
He was under budget.
So this is under budget.
Yeah, the quote for that is under budget. There will be some additional costs, obviously, it's expected when you're doing construction work. As well as we have to move our tool area to another room, so rebuilding some workbenches, toolboxes and whatnot.
Some internal costs, basically, the work that's being done.
Yeah, it should be well under.
Project starting?
Once I award them the contract, they should get started within the next month or so.
I'm just,
Wait,
I was just wondering, and that's not the lowest bid though, is it?
It's not the lowest bid.
There's a difference?
Yeah, there's a difference of about just over $1,000.
Oh, no, I see that, but I mean, what's the,
Scope of work is,
The scope of work that they're providing is a little bit more.
okay, that's why I was wondering whether disparity. That's-
Yeah, I outlined what I wanted, and then some actions were gonna be later on budget committing, or maybe in the next year, because we always have to leave a little bit.
Sure, okay.
And doing work like this,
All right.
and they came in including all the extras that I was hoping for.
Okay, all right.
Slightly more.
I'm just wondering, maybe for justification, a comment as an.
Yeah, like it's included in here, so the one that is less, that doesn't include any of the plumbing as well. So that would have been an extra.
Okay,
Doesn't include the HRV system, doesn't include the stairs, the rail.
just so there's no questions, that's all I'm thinking of. Thanks. Thank you.
There being no further comments, do you want to put forward the resolution?
Can I have a mover and a second, please? Councillor Trahan and Councillor Kelly. Council of the Municipality of East Ferris accepts the recommendations from the fire chief contained in report number FD 2024-02 Approves the purchase of services from Hodgson Electric to supply and install all materials and labor to renovate the washroom and construct a new clean room for bunker gear at the Astorville Fire Hall in the amount of $27,238.99 plus HS.
All in favor? So long carried, and I apologize, I saw the budgeted amount, I had missed it, and so I see it's written there. It was sometimes read. So I'm very sorry.
Read without reading.
Yes, and not enough. But thank you for that.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bill.
Yes. So we move on now to bylaws. And so I think the first bylaw we turn over to you for comments, Mr. Petit.
Sure, Mayor. Okay. So the first bylaw this evening.
This is a bylaw to enter into an agreement with FedNor for our economic development internship or intern. We've put the job ad out for this already and it's an 18-month contract. So FedNor will fund up to $35,000 a year, but this is an 18-month contract. So $52,500 is what the contribution is from FedNor. So this was discussed at budget time that we're looking for an intern. And council had approved that, and the main work or scope of work for the new intern will be our economic development strategy to work on the items that are included in that. So yeah, this is to formalize it with FedNor so that we can begin the process of hiring.
Any questions or comments before we report? Wait, Councilor Kelly?
Just congratulations on getting the grant and looking forward to it. And I'm just thinking like long-term, just to be interesting to go over the positive things that we've done over the years and maybe look for a little direction and see if there's avenues that we haven't exercised. Yeah, that sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay,
Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Champagne. Strahan. Whereas Council of the Municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to authorize an agreement between the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris, the Federal Economic Development Agency for Northern Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Indigenous Services and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Northern Ontario, for an economic development intern under the Northern Ontario Development Program be read a first, second, and third time, passed to number 2024-25. That said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
all in favor? C'est bon carried, thank you so much. And hey, so good work. Next bylaw,
Terry will take that one.
oh, okay.
So this is just a follow-up bylaw from the resolution that council passed at the last meeting. Accepting my recommendation to update the procedural bylaw, chair's comments to be renamed to updates and announcements from council members.
Sure. Okay.
Mover in a second, please. Councilor Kelly. Whereas Council of the Municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2023-55, being a bylaw to govern the proceedings of council, local boards and committees of either, the conduct of its members, the calling of meetings, and to establish rules of order, be read a first, second, and third time, passed to number 2024-26, and that said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
Favor? C'est bon, thank you so much, and thank you, Madam Clerk, for that work, yes. Item C, bylaw 2024-27.
Yeah, this bylaw is to enter an agreement regarding it's now called the Canada Community Building Fund, but it's federal gas tax. So I believe this one here, every 10 years, we have to enter into an agreement with them to receive the funds. We know what the funds, like what the allocations are for the first 5 years of the term. What happens in the last or in the 5th year, they give us an allocation letter for the second half of the 10-year agreement. So if we don't sign this, we don't get the grant money. These are all standard agreements as well, so there's no negotiating between us and the and NAMO and Canada, the Government of Canada. They're standard for all the municipalities.
Any questions? All in favor? C'est bon, carry, thank you so much.
I'll leave it.
Oh, a comment, great, go ahead.
All electric vehicles are all common. We get gas tax from gas being on our roads. What's gonna happen? Like, where's this, our funding gonna come from then?
Yeah, so we get it from the federal government. We don't get anything from the province, which I think we should get some kind of share, but that's my own opinion. Yeah.
It's, something's gotta come up, because otherwise we're gonna lose funding. It's kind of, I get mixed feelings about electric vehicles,
No.
especially in northern Ontario, right? It's a little different.
Couldn't agree more.
So the higher volume basically is down south. So if there's less on the road, less fuel being bought, less being done, less tax paid, we're gonna pay for it on the long run.
There'll be another program. I mean, we need this money for the municipal.
Oh, I understand. I'm just.
That's right. That's a good problem.
It's just, it's something that opens your eyes. For years.
We move forward now with item D. What?
Mover and second.
Oh, we didn't vote on that? Okay, so sorry.
Can I get a mover and seconder? Councillor Champagne, Councillor Kelly. Whereas Council, Municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass two readings of the following bylaw at this session. Be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario for the municipal funding agreement on the Canada Community Building Fund be read a first, second, and third time, passed on number 2024-27. And that said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
In favor? C'est bon, carry, thank you so much. And now the final one, did you want to touch on that? The renewal of our lease?
Yeah. So this is the renewal of our lease with the OPP next door. So it's for another 5-year term. And then also in the agreement that we negotiated, they've added 2 additional terms as options. So an additional 10 years, basically. So we're entering a 5-year, that's 2024, that goes till 2029, and then they've got another 2 options above the options they've already got, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That's good.
Great job.
Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Trahan, Councillor Champagne. Whereas Council of the Municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session. Be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to authorize a lease agreement between the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris and His Majesty the King in right of Ontario as represented by the Minister of Infrastructure for 1990 Corbeil Road be read a first, second, and third time, passed on number 2024-28. And that said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
On favor? C'est bon, carry.
We did, if I may, pass it.
Yeah, that's all right.
If I may as well, after this term, we've got 3 additional terms of 5 years. So right now it's 20 years.
Terrific.
If you look over
That's
it.
been super. Yeah, no. They've been good partners.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, well said. It's important to say it, so thank you.
No, I think so. You know, people have no problem throwing stones when something's going well. It's recognition never hurts.
Yeah, and if I may, for council's information, like we've got a closer relationship now that we've kind of shared a building. They're very happy with us. They, you know, they've only said praises, and Craig that runs the one here, he goes to other training facilities and it's not what they have here. And when they get police officers that come here to train as well, they're amazed by the facility, so they're very happy as well.
Quite frankly, it says a lot about the way staff, they get treated, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big part of it. Thank you.
We move into correspondence and information items. Councillor Kelly?
I just have one, that's municipality of West Nipissing.
Yes, yeah,
I really think it's time the government decided that this is not a municipal responsibility.
No.
This is a Trans-Canada Highway. for God's
yes,
sake.
exactly.
We're talking about opening the Ring of Fire. It's up at a number of phenom and so forth that I've been part of. It comes up at nuclear waste all the time because it's either going to be one of 2 sites. It's going to be decided hopefully by the end of the year. And if it's Northern Ontario, they're talking about the Ring of Fire and so forth. I mean, come on. $30 million to replace a bridge on the Trans-Canada Highway.
Mhm.
Now, no offense to anyone from the East Coast or is living in the East Coast, but there's 4-lane highways throughout the East Coast and there's not near the traffic. And if you're in Toronto, the Don Valley Parkway, everything's taken care of. You know, and I forget how many billions of dollars we're spending on the transportation modes in the Toronto. The Toronto, actually, it's quite frankly, it's Southern Ontario Loop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going all the way to London, it's gone all the way going out to Niagara Falls. That's great, but this is the Trans-Canada Highway in a small municipality.
There is a program, right, for municipalities that have major roads,
Connecting links.
connecting lanes.
Yeah.
And West Nipissing receives funding. Isn't that like a vehicle by which they could fund? I mean, there is a vehicle that exists by which they could provide funding
It
for
goes
this.
to Highway 64 too, so that's why they call it. But they've only given 5 years on that bridge and they're gonna condemn it.
I think there's,
Yeah.
well, so we want to support this absolutely.
And we know all it takes to repair and replace a bridge of that magnitude. I mean, I've seen bridges up, sometimes when we go to conferences up north.
Well, remember that. Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
And we all travel to Sudbury. I mean, so many of our residents are called to Sudbury for medical reasons. It is we have to go see specialists and there's all kinds of needs. Absolutely. So that we vote on that tonight, we put it forward tonight. Yes, okay.
Mover and a seconder, please. Counselor Kelly, Counselor Champagne. Council of the Municipality of East Ferris supports the resolution received from the Municipality of West Nipissing regarding the province of Ontario assuming responsibility for the Champlain Bridge rehabilitation. And further that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Ministry of Transportation.
All in favor? They won't carry. Thank you for raising that. Anything
all I
else?
have,
Okay. Councilor Tran?
I'll just make a comment on G. We have the Voyager 200 gravel bike race again in September 7th of this year. They're looking for some support and glad to see that they're going to use some of the back trails at the end of Boyer Road and that. So the letters there. So if you have anybody that's can make some contributions, Jeff, the event organizers, they're looking for some assistance.
So they're asking the municipality for support. Last year we funded, 500, a combination
plus.
that included grading and.
So what happened last year, Mayor Rochford, the commitment from council was $500, but it was to, they had asked for hall rental, of Gore Park Hall, like they needed usage. So what we did is we waived those fees, but it was inclusive of the 5. So whatever the difference was, we provided them a check.
Right.
Right, so it was a maximum of 5 last year.
But this year they're going to the Corbeil Four
For
Seasons.
seasons.
Okay.
Okay, so as part of that letter, that's what, but basically they're still asking for grading services. I couldn't remember if the Corbeil Four Seasons, if it's paved or not, it must not be paved.
It's gravel.
It's gravel. So would we be open to, and they're asking for fees that could be maybe.
Last year, we did the roads that were gravel, right? That was, yeah.
We can't go on private.
We can't go on.
That's where you want to go.
So so then basically, do we want to provide a support, financial support? They're asking for 500. That's what basically. 500? Okay, so.
Just to say, we are a lot of people in our communities, other businesses, or let them know about this because it's other businesses can make sponsorship too.
So I intend on participating, by the way, the short race, the short one, the 100. So I encourage other members of council, because I do find that they do in the letter highlight how we are a community that has been encouraging active transportation, and that is what has drawn them to our community. So I think everything we can do to encourage residents to participate is equally good. So I was thinking I would participate.
It's a small showcase for our municipality.
Yes, exactly. And they travel along the roads on the south shore, north shore of Lake Nswansea. I've always thought it would be great if we had a tour to that Nswansea like they have up in the Tri-Town area they have that and it draws a lot of people. And anyway.
That's true.
That's true, yes.
It's a lovely.
And I know both Vaughan and Lake Chisholm have expressed an interest in working on something like this longer term with us. But anyway, one day at a time. And so at this point, we encourage activities that are in that direction.
I don't think my bike is ready. The ringer on the doesn't work.
I'm out of baseball cards.
I might, yeah, keep this in.
I have a mover and a seconder, please. Counselor Cahan, Counselor Kelly. The Council of the Municipality of East Ferris contributes $500 to the 2024 Voyager 200 gravel bike race.
All in favor? Mr. Brown, thank you so much. Anything else? Okay, Councillor Champagne?
I've got E, the
We,
district health unit.
yes.
The one issue on there that we passed in our last meeting, which was a month or two ago, is the nicotine pouches. Basically, they don't fall in jurisdiction of the province. And they're basically sold at any corner store. And they're, it's the way they market it, you know, these nice colored things that really attract the kids and they can buy it. So we're suggesting, we're asking the minister to make sure they get put in the pharmacy and they get put behind. So they can't see them and people can ask for them, right? Because the kids, it's promoting and it's, I guess the words they're looking for here is that they, where is it? They're reclassifying the nicotine pouches, including flavored pouches and description products available behind the counter pharmacies. And what it does, if you talk about before, it's called Sonic. And you call marketing tactics such as power wall displays in convenience stores, colorful packages, and fun flavors to attract the youth, which is not right. And so we disagree with it, and that's why the motion's out there. So we're looking for support to go to the government and get this straightened out.
Okay.
And the other one is more discussion. I think I had a discussion with this about AMO. We had talked about we are registered for under the northern section of AMO, that we can vote for the northern place, because if you're not registered on the northern, we can't.
We're usually
I'll double check.
registered as rural, which is I think the issue, right?
Yeah, if we're northern, then we can vote for forget how it goes, but one or the other,
Yes.
and you can't vote
Exactly.
for the issues.
It's a good point. I've always felt that rural, we mixed in with all the rural communities, so I think it would be better if we were northern. I don't know why we.
Yeah.
Thing like that.
Because what happens, everybody north can't vote for them, so the south takes.
Everyone in support of that?
Right, northern, yeah.
And so we have a resolution for the health unit. Is that
We
correct?
do this.
Did you prepare them all ahead? Oh, okay. Just so that we're ready. Yes, okay.
Moved by Councillor Champagne, seconded by Councillor Trahan. Council of the Municipality of East Ferris supports the resolution from the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit regarding restricting youth access to nicotine pouches and urges the Ontario government to take immediate steps to restrict youth access to these products by amending provincial regulation to require that nicotine pouches like Sonic be only available for purchase at pharmacies and kept behind the counter. And further, that until the regulatory gap is closed, the municipality of East Ferris urges the federal government to take immediate steps to restrict youth access to these products by suspending the sale of nicotine pouches or reclassifying nicotine pouches, including flavored pouches, as a prescription product available only behind the counter at pharmacies, and establishing a temporary moratorium of approval of any more nicotine pouch products or any new category of nicotine products under the Natural Health Products Regulation, unless the products are sold on a prescription basis. And further, that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Premier of Ontario Doug Ford, Ontario Minister of Health Sylvie Jones, and MPP Victor Daly.
All in favor? Don't carry, thank you. Nothing else, Councillor Champagne?
No, not for myself, no.
We do have on the agenda the request from the North Bay District Chamber of Commerce to provide a letter of support for the rural community immigration pilot. A couple of things here in background is the chamber, as we know, had the management of the rural and northern immigration pilot program. I don't know for the last 5-6 years, the number of years they've had it, but they have viewed it as a very successful program, and they've had reports that they produce, and basically they do believe that it has been very helpful to their members to match what they view as critical labor shortages. And they would like to be able, now that that program is ending, and it's going to be a new program that's coming forward that's called Rural Community Immigration Pilot, and they want to be the lead. The Chamber, North Bay Area Chamber of Commerce wants to be the lead on that new program, and they've asked us for a letter of support. Basically, there's priority sectors. So basically, it encourages matching businesses in the areas of health or trades or IT or professions such as engineering or various professions where that sometimes there is a lack of skilled labor. And so they work at matching, people that come that immigrate to Canada with the businesses of our community. I am personally aware of one instance in our community, that because we have been part of the territory, they're saying that this new program will also encompass again, East Ferris in their territory. And I do recall a few years ago, there was one business in particular that did receive skilled labor through this program. So I'm aware of that, but I'm not beyond that. It's private between who does benefit from the program. So they're asking for a letter of support, and that's why it's on the agenda here this evening. Any comments or questions?
Yeah. So the criteria for this, it would be nice to see the criteria a little more in depth on it. And maybe you know, because you're bringing it up, Mayor. So they say if a company ABC is looking for a trade worker. So is it the ABC company that applies to the chamber for this worker? And does the ABC company have to be a chamber member or no?
They don't.
And sorry, no.
So they don't have to be a chamber member.
Okay, so that's kind of good to know. And then also is one, like the workers that are due coming in, as long as they don't, maybe you might know, are they here on a visa or are they here on a work visa or are they on a school visa or what's the parameters on all that? Like how are they coming in to Canada or Ontario to meet these obligations and what attachments are attached to the reasons or how they're able to work?
So they come in on a visa, and so basically they have to meet some very, like the Canadian immigration guidelines. They're subject to that, or the provincial guidelines as well. I'm not familiar, so this is an overall overview from what I recall from that. So basically, they do come in on a visa, but through that they could apply to become a Canadian citizen as well. So there is that option there as well. But they have to have a matching company. There has to be a match out there that exists for this to occur. So it's driven by our needs of our businesses. And again, here the program, as they say, they're now giving very specific priority sectors. So that's why personally I think it's a good program because it's
it's a good program. I agree with it. The only things that I think there's some issues tagged with it, but I don't want to get into those issues publicly. I can speak to you personally about them. And because we all have friends that are, has businesses or whatever, and then they need, workers and they need some trades and they need some laborers and everything. So I in that aspect, I think it's a really good win-win for everybody. And it's too bad that we can't have our own people that are already residing here to be able to take those jobs on. It would have been nice to see those certain parameters with regards of the people that are chosen or how are they chosen and how they're coming in. That's all. Because I have some deeper questions with regards to that, but I'm not going to bring them out personally here.
I know that the instance in East Ferris, there was absolutely no one. It was an area where there was a need. There was no one here locally or in Ontario, Canada to fill that position. So it was a situation of that nature. And so beyond that, I can't really say, but I do believe the chamber in there, it's all online. There's lots of information online. They provide reports on the Mainland Northern Immigration Pilot. And basically they say it has been very successful in connecting business employees in remote communities where there's sometimes skilled workers that are required and that they're lacking. So,
So the Chamber of Commerce basically would understand the same would do through the whole system.
Right. Yeah, so they've been part of evaluating the rural and northern immigration. They've been very active in evaluation of it. And now this other program is very centered on rural communities. So I don't know why they exclude necessarily the northern components. Maybe it's because they want to make it part of all of Ontario and rural areas. But so for basically what they want to be is I say an overseer of the program in our area. So they view it as an essential program for themselves.
I don't see a problem as long as it follows all the criteria. Right?
Yeah, but if there's some holes, but anyway.
Like I said, I don't know about the holes, but if the Chamber of Commerce, if there's holes there, Chamber of Commerce will be responsible.
Yep.
Because they're giving us this information to go with, so.
So they've sent us a letter, a draft letter that they've suggested that if we could provide. We had provided a letter last time as well. We had supported their initiative when it went forward. And I do believe they came to council at some point, and we could in the future maybe request a presentation. That would be good.
So you bringing it forward? Is that what you're doing?
I know it's there and I know the request is there, so I'd like to make sure that we cover it. So if we could bring it forward, yes, we proceed, Madam Chair.
I have a mover and a seconder, please.
Sure.
Councillor Champagne, and Councillor Kelly. Excuse me.
Question.
The Council of the Municipality of East Ferris supports the letter received from the North Bay and District Chamber of Commerce regarding the rural community immigration pilot, and further the letter of support signed by the mayor on behalf of council be sent to the North Bay and District Chamber of Commerce.
All in favor? They've all carried. Thank you so much.
If I may add something there, so what we can do is when we send the letter to the chamber, we could request that they're successful in their application, that they then come to council to speak to the
Great.
program.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that.
We are chamber members as well.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so we move forward to action items, the approval of the correspondence.
Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Trahan and Councillor Kelly. The council approved the correspondence and information as circulated with the agenda of June 25th, 2024.
All in favor? Yvonne, approval of accounts payable.
Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Champagne, Councillor Trahan. That council approved the general accounts for the municipality of East Ferris as indicated in the check register dated June 25th, 2024, in the amount of $1,816,638.52.
All in favor? Yvonne. No other business. It's not on the. Yes, exactly. And then I'll have a clerk. Goodness me.
I'm going back to chamber. I'll bring it up at another time.
Myself, I've never been too big on, I like the opportunity to talk, because I find sometimes we get conflicts because we're not able to communicate.
Just, it's all communication. Well, that's what the motion was for a while ago, is to enhance communication.
Yes.
And informal communication.
Yes, at the start of our meeting.
We'll talk later.
Okay, all right. Anyway, confirmatory bylaw. I don't think we have it in camera, so we are good to move to confirmatory bylaw.
And a seconder, please. Councillor Trahan, Councillor. Okay.
Perspective.
Whereas the council of the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass the readings of the following ballot at this session, be it hereby resolved that a ballot to confirm the proceedings of council from June 11th, June 25th, 2024, be read a first, second, and third time, passed on number 2024-29. And that's a bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
All in favor? Yvonne carries. Thank you so much. And now we come back on July 8th, July 8th? Oh, sorry. So you're going to pass we have to adjourn. Okay, good.
Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Kelly, Councillor Trahan. That we do now adjourn at 6:32 p.m. and meet again on July 9th, 2024.
Favor?
Won't need it.
Thank you so much. Okay. July 9th, yes, yeah. Okay, July 9th. Okay.
Let me double check.
I'll be here July 9th, but I won't be here August 9th. Or August, whatever.
The 13th.
Granddaughter.
We'll have to take a close, I'm here on the 13th. Are you away on the 15th? Are you away on the 15th of August?
I think I'm back.
You're back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
That's good. Okay, thank you.
Heading out to St. Martin.
I know that's why I remember you said you were going in